Tony Smith Smog was, at the time of its installation in 2000, the largest and most complex work by the artist ever constructed in a permanent material. The Committee on Art in Public Places commissioned the fabrication of this sculpture with funds provided by the 1% for Art policy to complement and enhance McArdle Bicentennial Hall, the largest building in the college's history. During his lifetime, Smith created full-scale maquettes in plywood for works he fully intended would one day be fabricated and painted aluminum, but for which no funds materialized. The component parts of Smog first saw the light of day when they were assembled in a different configuration for a temporary installation at the Corcoran Gallery in 1969. In the two-story atrium of that institution in Washington, D.C., the plywood octahedrons, painted matte black, were assembled as a vertical sculpture entitled Smoke. When that work was taken apart, the components were sent back to Smith's home, where he reassembled them horizontally in his backyard. He baptized the new sculpture Smog. Despite the intense seriousness of his artistic enterprise, Smith could be playful, even whimsical with his titles. Of course, his intention was not to celebrate industrial pollution. When smoke settles, smog results. Precise drawings and a much reduced model cast in bronze survived, but the original plywood units do not. The carpenters who had constructed them were still alive and available for consultation. The Lippincott brothers, who had fabricated many works for Smith during his lifetime, undertook the task of creating Smog in welded aluminum for the first time at its intended monumental scale. Tony Smith was trained as an architect. He was well-versed in mathematics and modular systems. His sculptures evolved over time from simple to increasingly complex geometric forms. The components of Smog are octahedrons, but the basis of their assembly is a six-sided lattice of forms. Altogether, Smith combined 9 hexagons in rows of 2, 4, and 3. He suggested others without completing them. Individual octahedrons extend from the central assembly of forms, twice as individuals, once as a pair, and once as a trio. The result is an exceptionally complex essay in constantly changing sculptural forms, encountered as the viewer moves around the sculpture. The ideal viewpoint is from above, but access to the roof of McArdle Bicentennial Hall is rarely possible. Smog seems remote and objective from some points of view, but anthropomorphic, even threatening from others. We can imagine that it came into being by either efflorescence or organic growth, because it possesses both the logic of crystals and the passion of living forms.